Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir. And Honourable Speaker, I'd like to thank Honourable Ilyasa for raising this question regarding the status of pending request in the construction of seawalls. I will be highlighting the concerns of vulnerable coastal communities and how we are safeguarding our people from increasing impact of coastal erosion and climate change. Honourable Speaker said the issue of coastal erosion is one of an essential threat to many of our communities, and this coalition government is fully committed to protecting every Fijian's citizen. The Ministry maintains a comprehensive master list to track every seawall request from initial scoping to completion. This allows us to strategically plan, prioritize based on urgency, and allocate resources effectively. Honourable Speaker, sir, today I would like to provide this August House with a breakdown of the status of those critical projects. In the Northern Division, sir, in progress, we have successfully completed several seawalls projects using in-house funding, such as those in Rabi Rabi, 160 meters, Naibindab 150 meters, and Rakinwai 350 meters, which have benefited households using cost-effective nature-based solutions. We are fortunate we have a lot of support from communities when they are constructing their seawalls. In ongoing pipelines, a significant number of seawall projects are advanced in the completion phase. For instance, construction will start soon for Nabetau, 350 meters, Kanakana, 400 meters, and Bonobo, 400 meters, under the ADB-funded Enhancing Climate Resilient Project, with the disbursement expected through the Ministry of Finance. Future commitments, several communities, including Sese, 400 meters, Sangani, 280 meters, and Bisongo, 200 meters, have projects approved under the Adaptation Fund, with the implementation by the Secretariat of the Pacific Communities scheduled to commence in March 2026. Challenges and action, we are also addressing gaps where international donor findings was insufficient for seawalls project like in Nakawanga, 400 meters, Besi, 300 meters, and Lingaulibu, 350 meters. Initially, Kaiwa and the Ministry has taken the initiative to complete them using in-house capacity, with some already finished, including the seawall project in Samosamo village, where 425 meters of seawall have been completed. Honourable Speaker said the Western Division shows a similar story of strategic implementation and public-private partnership. The completed projects, we have strong records of completion with successful NBS and concrete seawall built in Rugurugulebu, 200 meters, Namoli, 450 meters, Nambukandra, 300 meters, and Wendell Doko, 90 meters, primarily through our in-house budget. Advanced preparation, some communities are in the construction preparation phase, and these are 380 meters of seawall in Namarai and 390 meters of seawall in Ndongoloa, who are approved by the ADB funding, while others like Sayoko, 190 meters, Toka, 474 meters, and Tangangi, 170 meters are approved under the Adaptation Fund, awaiting disbursement. Addressing the urgent need, we are also tackling urgent cases. For example, in VCC village, a 550 meter seawall construction is ongoing. It was delayed as the community contributed boulders were exhausted, and I am pleased to inform the House that this project has been prioritized for funding in the 2025-2026 budget and to ensure its completion. Honourable Speaker, sir, the Central Division, encompassing Tailevu, Rewa, Serua, and Namosi, meter infrastructure, delivered significant projects have been completed, including the substantial reinforcement concrete seawall, of 633 meters on Bow Island and an MBS project in Novea village of 500 meters of seawall. Focus on scoping a considerable amount of villages, such as in Romuna, 400 meters, Batani, 200 meters, and Nasilai, 220 meters, have had scoping and surveys completed. This crucial step will enable us to accurately cost and prioritize them for future funding cycles, including the upcoming 2025-2026 budget. Donor engagement, we also have projects like Vivatuloa Village with 380 meters of seawall that are approved for construction under ADB funding, showing our diversified approach to finance. Honorable Speaker, sir, the Maritime Islands presents our most significant challenge due to their remoteness and vastness, while they remain our top priority for this government. Proven delivery methods, we have been very successful to track record using in-house funding to complete seawalls project in remote islands such as Namuana Village, 400 meters, Tabuki District School, 250 meters, Bali Doni Village, 250 meters, and Vero Village, 30 meters. Acknowledging the scale of the need, the master list clearly shows the immense need, with over 50 villages across Lau, Lomaiviti, and Kandau listed. Many, like those on Wanombalavu, Matuku, are still in the scoping phase due to logistical challenges. Targeted intervention, we are making progress. For example, in Kitei Village and on Totoya, where 250 meters of seawall is already complete, with more planned. Furthermore, villages like Nasengai in Kandabu, 300 meters of seawall, and Nasau Village in Coral Island with 200 meters of seawall have been allocated funding within the 2025-2026 financial year. Honorable Speaker, sir, to provide a clear, direct answer to the Honorable Member's question, let me summarize the national picture. The Northern Division, 20 communities will need seawall but still lack funding. In the Western Division, 15 communities will need seawalls but still lacking funding. In the Central, we have 35 communities needing seawall with no funding, and in the Maritime Zone, 50 communities need seawalls but still lack funding. Honorable Speaker, sir, in total across our nations, we have identified over 120 communities that require seawall and for which funding is not yet secure. This is the scale of the challenge we face. Honorable Speaker, sir, our strategy is in the reform: complete the groundwork, strengthen collaborative financing, and leverage national resource and prioritize. Honorable Speaker, sir, the list is long because the threats are real. Through interministerial collaboration and a proactive, innovative approach to climate finance, we have a plan, we have a system, and we have unwavering commitment to protect our people. We will work through this list, village by village, until the job is done. Thank you, sir.
I thank the Minister, the Honourable Tunabuna. Are there any supplementary questions, Honourable Manawalu?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Supplementary questions to the Honourable Minister. What are some of the mitigation factors and challenges faced with the construction of this seawall?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, sir. There's quite a number of challenges that we normally face during construction of seawall. One in particular is the resources that we use, and it normally requires approval of land owning system, and that seems to be a hindrance when there are some disputes within landowners, and I believe initial preparatory work normally addresses those that normally involves the use of natural resources, including boulders and soil.